Okay, so I have been involved with like I actually became part of the ACOM board. It's like within this last year. So it's been pretty recent, but I mean, growing up with my mom and I mean, I basically was part of ACOM since I was born. So it's kind of cool and neat for me to be doing this interview and doing something official. It makes me feel like I'm doing something
Yeah,
really good.
definitely.
All right, so let's get started. Again, I'm going down this list, so if it seems kind of weird and forced, I'm not trying to. Okay,
Nice.
so how did you get started in the food restaurant business?
Well, for starters, I absolutely love cooking and grew up with my mom in the kitchen and making Armenian dishes and stuff like that too. But so love food, love cooking. Specifically, my dad actually was the one that was in restaurant stuff, owned a couple of restaurants and coffee shops and things like that. So I grew up around it. I started working, I mean, shadowing him at business, I mean, ever since I can remember. And then started actually officially working as far as making some money when I was 14, scooping ice cream at the ice cream shops.
Wow.
And so that's kind of how that trajectory happened, but grew up around it, realized I loved it, loved cooking, loved food. And yeah, so it's been like a little bit of a journey in that respect, both on the professional side and personal side.
14 is really young. It's really young, but good for you.
It was great.
This isn't part of the list of questions, but are both your parents Armenian, or this is just for my own curiosity? So I
Sure. No,
apologize.
my dad, but it was cool. My mom has picked up a lot of like the cooking tradition specifically, which is really awesome because
Nice.
his mother was, had everything down, was able to pass those recipes on. So I grew up with, the dolma and the cheese borig and baklava and things like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I actually have learned now from her because I love, cooking and all that. And so she was kind of able to carry that down and basically feed us all great Armenian dishes. And but he is the one that is from that side Armenian.
Okay. Very good. Okay. So obviously, I mean, I think you kind of touched on this already. Is this a family run business?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all the ice cream shops. So now we have just opened our third location. But we started the Stillwater location has actually been around for almost 100 years. So since 1923, which is wild. My dad bought that in 2006, I believe, 5 or 6. And so that's when I started to, work in the ice cream shop. And then I opened up the St. Paul location off of Snelling in 2014. And that was kind of my baby coming out of college and stuff and pampered that a little bit. And then started managing the Stillwater location and that location. And then this past year, kind of during all the pandemic craziness, some spot became available off Marshall Avenue in St. Paul. And so that's when we opened up our sister store, Nellie's. So the other shops are Nelson's Ice Cream, and then the sister store is Nellie's, where we do something a little bit different. But yeah, so now all the ice cream and yeah, family run. Growing up, so I'm one of 5
Hmm.
kids, and everyone up through my eldest sister down to my youngest brother. I mean, I taught them how to scoop and all that. We worked together in the shop consistently, so it was fun and cool. Everyone's kind of taken a different trajectory, but definitely spent some time behind the scooping counter. So
Very cool. Awesome. All right, so again, I think a lot of these questions you already are kind of answering, so I'll just
yeah,
ask them anyway. So how many ice cream shops do you have? And you think you just said that
yeah,
like a second ago.
no, yeah. So right now it's the 3,
Mhm.
and we do the catering as well. So that was something, and again, got a little disrupted last year with COVID and all that. But I bought an old 1980s Coca-Cola like food trailer thing, and converted it over to like doing ice cream. So we were able to do ice cream out of that. Signed up for a bunch of events. They obviously got canceled last season, but now we're kicking off and doing more catering this year. So that's definitely a new kind of thing. So I'm not a 4th location exactly, but being able to do the offsite scooping and all that's pretty fun. So grad parties, weddings, family reunions, all that jazz. So yeah,
So kind of three and a half.
yeah, we'll call it that.
It's kind of like 3.5. All right, super cool. That's actually interesting. I mean, you have a trailer. I mean, I guess it's not
Yeah,
impossible. Throw ice cream in the back of a truck and give it to people. Why not? It's an ice cream truck.
exactly. Yeah, it's cool. We kind of like did it out in like a retro style, kind of 50s, 60s vibe. So it's cute.
Nice. Cool. Okay. So, do you make your own ice cream? Ooh, that's a good question. Do you
Yeah,
make your own ice cream?
good question. So no, because we didn't have the production capabilities. What we did is we actually partnered with a local gentleman. His family's been making ice cream for 3 generations as well. And so he small batch custom makes ice cream for Nellie's, literally in like batches of 4 of those tubs at a time. So very small batch, custom for us. And we kind of put our heads together and figure out, what we're going to do for flavors and all that jazz. But just because if you've been to like the Stillwater Nelsons, it's just a shack essentially. I mean, it's a very, very small building in like a residential area. So there's no way to really do any production just because of the size there. So we had to look elsewhere and kind of source stuff that way. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, that makes complete sense, but it's super cool like that you do still keep it really, really small. So
Yeah.
it's not just like the massive vat of, and also cool that you kind of get to decide on your own flavors too,
Yeah,
kind of custom
definitely.
flavors. Which brings me to the next question. Which are your favorite flavors of ice cream?
My personal, so I'm a big coffee lover. So the Java chunk style is going to be me all the way. I know it's also kind of polarizing, but the black licorice is one of my favorites. I know. See, there you go. Yeah, polarizing. Love it or hate it. Mint chip for sure. As far as like popular flavors, Pirate's Booty is one of the most popular ones that we do, and that's a caramel-based ice cream with M&Ms and Oreos, so just sweet on top of sweet, but very decadent and good. And then one of the ones at the new shop that I'm excited about is a maple bacon. So there's actually, it's like breakfast and ice cream, and it's a little bit, again, out there, but maple and bacon, kind of that savory sweet combo. That one's really tasty.
Well, I mean, maple bacon has been something that's been super popular like everywhere. I mean, I think it's just, first of all, it's also, fine maple cured bacon. So why not make it into ice cream, I guess? So that's brilliant. Have you had again, I'm not, I should be keeping on the list, but now I'm curious. Have you so you've tried out the maple bacon? Have you gotten any good reviews on it? Does it?
Yeah, I mean, the people that have, if you're gonna go for something like that, I feel like you already kind of know that you might like it. I mean, it's a pretty relatively adventurous to have meat in your ice cream out of the gate. You know what I mean? So we've gotten really good feedback. We were playing around originally like with one that had candied bacon versus like not just regular salty bacon, and the salty bacon kind of won out in a taste test because again, you have that balance of salty and sweet, and who doesn't like that? So it's so far so good.
Awesome. All right, I'll let's see here. Okay. Oh, other than ice cream, what do you serve in your shops?
So right now we've kind of streamlined stuff, and it is predominantly ice cream stuff. We do have like beverages and things like that. And at the Nellie's location, we do cookies and a variety of like baked cookies because we specialize in like the ice cream cookie sandwiches there. So we partnered with someone who shares the space, a local baker, Rachel, and she bakes all of our cookies. So it's basically like just right next door, in-house style, peanut butter, an oatmeal raisin, like a really good chocolate chip with 2 types of chocolate chip, a chocolate chip, sugar cookie, that type of thing is kind of the focus there. But so those are baked fresh right there. And then we stick to, kind of what we know. Ice cream, we don't try and get too fancy with it. I think at our Stillwater location, there's 46 flavors. So it's kind of already a lot going on as it is.
So 46 all at once?
Yeah. So you have 46 at that location. And then Nellie's, the new location, we have 20 and then 6 different cookie options. So I think I did the math, and there's like 6,400 combinations with toppings that you can do. So, I mean, there's plenty of choices, but it's just like, kind of focusing on our sweet spot there, pun intended.
Yeah, boy, it's a lot of cavities. It's a lot of cavities. I'm just teasing. No, I have a terrible sweet tooth. So I'm just like listening to you, and I'm just thinking, just thinking sugar, 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 and it's making my eyes swirl like a crazy person. So this is probably pick the right person to do this interview, or maybe not, because I'm going to get so distracted. Um, so further on, so again, next question. This is again something that you've already touched on, but where are the locations?
So the flagship in Stillwater, and that's off Olive and Greeley Street in the corner. So it's kind of residential. It's up from downtown. For those people that have been to Stillwater, they know kind of the downtown strip, antique stuff, all that. We're actually up from there by it would be 3 streets up from downtown in a little residential area, and we have parking. The second location, which I mentioned, opened 2014, is off Snelling and Randolph, so kind of on the corner there, across from the Walgreens there. And there's also Plum's Bar there that's kind of been a staple in that area for a while. Mm-hmm. And then the most recent location is actually in an old ice cream shop, Izzy's Ice Cream, if any of your listeners, viewers are familiar, off Marshall Avenue. And that's kind of close to Marshall and Cretin, right next to the University of St. Thomas. So lots of students are, out and about there. And I know one of your questions was asking about, hiring and that type of thing too. And so that's, we predominantly hire high school students and some college kids, and that location is definitely no exception there. So.
Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah. Izzy's there. That was there just a couple of years ago.
No. Yeah. We were really sad to see them go. I talked with Jeff maybe 3 months ago now, because my wife went to St. Thomas and my sister went there as well. So I grew up, that was like one of our, date spots. So I'm glad we can follow in their ice cream footsteps. But yeah, we were sad to see them go for sure.
But that being said, it's taken over by Armenians, so I will take that any day. Like, I don't care what it is. You can take over and do what you will. If it's an Armenian, I will support it.
Done.
Oh. Yeah, exactly. Ooh, whoopsies. What did I do here? All right, back. Okay, so are family members involved in running these shops?
Yeah, so as I had mentioned, coming up and whatever, everyone worked in the shops. Right now, it is predominantly my wife, myself, my dad, and mom, with some help here and there from my brothers who are just graduated college or in college. They'll come back and help, hit or miss with catering stuff or heavy lifting, that sort of thing. But and the little one. So my most recent, my son definitely has helped with the taste testing and developing a young sweet tooth and all that. But yeah, so there has been, historically everyone's been involved, but right now it's mostly my wife, myself, my mom and dad.
Okay, very cool. And so again, we talked about this a second ago, but what is the source of most of the employees for your businesses, like colleges?
So, and something we figured out too, early on is the high schoolers and stuff. So we really like to be people's first job, actually. Not that experience hurts you in any situation, but it's really cool to, kind of help a lot of these kids through what it's like to have a first job and kind of watch that development. And, from start to finish, you get referrals. We basically hire almost exclusively off of referrals, and hire, family members of family members. We have at our Stillwater location, we have multiple families where it's 3 or 4 of the kids are all working there. I know it's crazy. Oh. Either you schedule them on the same shift or you don't, depending on, that's kind of a tricky one. It's all about the relationships there. But yeah, high schoolers and college kids a little bit here or there when they're back on summer breaks. But it's not like we have any full-time employees. Obviously, this is, part-time work for a lot of kids, and we are seasonal. So we typically run our season April to end of October, depending on, it's around Halloween. But yeah, local young kids, really of all walks. So
when you mean seasonal, so all of your stores close?
Yes.
After? Oh
yeah. So we kind of found out early on, we were we want to be very busy, and then kind of an all or nothing. We're volume based and value driven as far as our operation. So for us to even basically break even or make money, we have to be pretty busy. 1,000 people a day or something like that. So we just tried it the first few years we owned the Stillwater location to be open, and we'll do a little coffee here, we'll try this there. And it ended up just not, being worth it on our end. And because we do kind of work pretty hard running around in the summer, we now have a little bit of time in the winter where we take off. So we can work hard, play hard in that respect. And I think it's the best balance for life and everything, really.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's like Minnesota winters. Who wants to,
I mean,
some
Minnesotans are
people.
hardy. Yeah, they're hardy. They'll eat ice cream, but when it's January, February, -20, -30 gets a little hard to sell the ice cream.
Yeah, and I guess I completely understand. It's like why the cost of like operating and keeping everything running when you're gonna get a couple of those weird customers that love ice cream in January.
Which
It
I
just
would be
doesn't.
included in the weird customers because I'll eat
Oh
ice
my
cream
gosh,
year round for sure, but
sorry.
there's not enough of me out there.
Yeah, no, it's not enough. Yeah, I completely agree. So that's completely makes sense, especially for the balance. That's a brilliant idea, I would say, to have 6 months of the year off,
Yeah.
not to think about it. All right. So, are there particular aspects of the business you personally handle? Do you do everything?
Well, I can do everything, but I typically don't like to. I obviously we like being very hands-on, so I love the opportunities to get to literally be on the line scooping ice cream for people, and I'll take those at any opportunity I can. But it's important for us to obviously work on the business as well as in the business. So, I'm doing all the hiring, all the scheduling. My dad does a lot of the book work on the back end, training, that sort of thing. But like I said, I love to actually get in there and be hands-on. So it's pretty often you'd see me at one of the shops doing that. It's kind of a little like triangle. Like yesterday, I just did the full drive triangle and hit all the stores in a day. Actually, it was out in St. Paul twice, but so I'm definitely in and out. And I think that, and I know one of your questions was to that accord, so I don't want to jump ahead of myself, but it's important for us to not be super absentee ownership. Like I'd like to have just 3 stores and run them really, really well rather than 6 stores and be absentee and never there. And then
Mm,
not have a good product and not have a good experience for customers. So I think we're kind of at that point now where we feel like we have a good handle on and a good balance on it. I get to be in there and show face as much as I'd like to. My wife the same way. And I think, if you get too far out there, then it doesn't have a family feel either. I get to,
mm.
I recognize the customers for the most part. And you get to see your regulars, and some of the people I remember in St. Paul, like I'm scooping what they're getting before they even are there. I mean, literally, I know that, you're in line. I see someone in line. I'm like, I know he's going to get, white chocolate raspberry truffle. I just started scooping it. So that's kind of cool. And you start to lose that element if you get too big. So.
Well, and I mean, I don't want to say uncommon, but it's a lot less common to see like that level of family involvement in a business or personal involvement, because everything I feel these days has become so I'm trying to find the right word, like and the first word that's coming to my mind is like big box. There's just a lack of really
It's like
true small
corporate.
businesses that are
Yeah.
like super like into it. I mean, I don't know. You can make the comparison between yours and a Dairy Queen. I never saw Mr. Dairy Queen when I went to Dairy Queen. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just a I appreciate that. So
No, yeah, and we obviously feel the same way, and because we've talked about it, and we would love to grow, but we talked, only if maybe it's a family member. So like one of my
mm,
younger brothers is graduating college and whatever. If he decides to join the family business, then it's like, okay, now you have your own shop or whatever it is.
mm,
Rather than just trying to do more with what we have now. Wait until maybe someone else is interested in the family. It's an opportunity to expand it.
awesome. All right, we'll move on here. Give me 1 second here because
Yeah.
mm, I lost my questions. If I accidentally touch my phone the wrong way, everything gets like blocked out, and I have to go back. Here we go. Okay. So do you have, again, I think you've mentioned this already before. Do you have stores in other states?
We don't as of now. right now, I mean, again, for the ease of us being able to be physically in there, right now we're just in St. Paul and Stillwater.
Okay.
I would, just my proximity to like Wisconsin and Hudson and things like that. I mean, if there was an opportunity where, a sibling was more involved and able to take a store on or something like that, I think that could be a cool expansion opportunity. But for now, we're looking good. With the catering, obviously we have the mobile element, so we can get out to Wisconsin if needed for events and things like that.
So I guess that kind of, being mobile means you could go anywhere you wanted to, which is a really great idea. And again, so I guess, what are your plans of opening anything outside of Minnesota?
Right now, like I said, I think we're feeling pretty good the way that we are. We want things to stay within the family. I mean, people have reached out to us too, like, can we franchise it? Or, we love the concept. We want to open one here or open one there. Mm-hmm. And we've talked about it a lot of times. And although it could be more money in the short term or something, we just don't feel comfortable with it because we're worried that, you'd have problems and not have it be Nelson's essentially. So that's more important to us than anything at this point. Not that that would not change, but for now, I think unless it's a family member, you probably won't see any more expansion out of us.
All right, cool. Is there anything else that you would like the community to know?
Come out and check out the stores. I mean, I think I'm really excited about so the newest location is the Nellie's ice cream, and that's cool just because we do the custom ice cream cookie sandwiches. You can pick your bottom cookie, pick the ice cream that you want in the middle, pick a different top cookie. We got something cool going on there where you can hot press the ice cream sandwich, which will warm up the cookies and keep the ice cream frozen. Roll in toppings, all that. So if you want something that's a little different, like I haven't seen that anywhere in the Midwest. So I think that's something, different, better, special that you don't really see out here, at least right now. So I think come check us out and say hi. If you see me in there, I'd love to meet other, local Armenians and stuff. So please, if you recognize me, you might have a mask on, but who knows? If you think you recognize me, say hi. And I'd love to, talk or set up a time to have a conversation with you or just get to know the community a little bit better. Cause that's something and when you reached out too, it got me excited about getting a little bit more involved. It's not something I have unfortunately really had time to do and stuff recently. So I'd like to turn that over and get to know more Armenians. I mean, what's bad about that?
Come join us. Join us. No, you'll definitely be seeing me in there. We already drove past that once, and I will be there. I will be there. I just hope that you have insulin flavored ice cream because I feel like I'd be walking out with diabetes within 2 seconds.
God. Yeah, no, I hear you on that. It's everything in moderation, but
exactly.
When you go, do it right. You got to get everything. Do it up.
Right. No, I completely agree. I also completely agree with your coffee flavor ice cream. That is probably one of my favorite flavors and has been ever since I was a kid. I will not do the black licorice, so you lost it. But thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. It was such a pleasure. Obviously we wish you the best, but I really, really enjoyed doing this and meeting you. And I'm glad we got to do it via Zoom too.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to put a face to the name and connect up and stuff. And so hopefully, that'll continue more in the future too. Thanks so much for the call. And thanks so much for reaching out and spreading the word too. As a business owner, obviously, I appreciate that a lot. So thanks for
the spotlight. I will be getting if we're going out for ice cream, I will be getting as many people to go to any of the locations. And I have a couple of really good friends that live in that area. So I don't know, at least they will be there joining the Armenians eating the Armenian ice cream. Good. Well, thank you again, both from myself and also from the ACOM board. Thank you so much for your time. It's really been a pleasure.
Yeah, and reach out if you have any other questions or Thanks so much for the interview.
You're welcome. All right. Well, we'll be seeing you soon. Thank you.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Bye-bye.